I love a fucked up sort of black comedy with vampires in it, Ashley.
Oh my God. This movie was so different than what I was expecting it to be. I laughed my ass off a couple of times. Like
Me
that
too.
scene where they're getting drunk with him.
Yes.
That's my favorite scene in the whole movie. I was like, that's amazing.
One.
And then
It's
like,
the best
laudanum's
one.
a hell of a drug, Joel. Laudanum is a hell of a drug. Whoo!
Welcome to the Articulate Coven, the original, unofficial fan podcast and community for Anne Rice's Immortal Universe, The Vampire Chronicles, Lives of the Mayfair Witches, and the Immortal Universe TV series from AMC and AMC+. The Articulate Coven is Ashley and Joel, but it's supported by listeners just like you. Find out more at articulatecoven.com/join.
Welcome to the Articulate Coven. We are your hosts. I'm Joel.
I'm Ashley.
And we are the Articulate Coven. The Articulate Coven's the unofficial fan podcast and community for Anne Rice's Immortal Universe, and all the works included the Lives of the Mayfair Witches, the Vampire Chronicles, and the forthcoming Talamasca series from AMC, AMC+. It is a movie night tonight, folks. We're not talking about Anne Rice. We're talking about Nosferatu.
Ish.
Not really.
No.
Yeah.
Not again. But kind of.
Okay. My 17-year-old, I was asking the family the other day when I was getting ready to watch this. I said, hey guys, I got to watch this movie today. Let me just kind of run it down for everybody and see if anybody else wants to watch it with me, or if this is one that Dad's watching on his own. And I described the film and what it's going to be. And Kelly very quickly says, nah, that's you. You can do that one by yourself. I said, yeah, I figured as much, honestly. Judah, what do you think, though? Like, you're into the weird and wonderful sometimes. And he goes, okay, let me get this right. There was a book about a vampire. Then someone made an unauthorized movie based on that book.
Mm-hmm.
And now someone made a movie about the making of that movie, supposing that there was a real vampire that helped them make it. And I was like, exactly. He goes,
that's it.
Not tonight, I don't think.
I was
tonight.
Like,
yeah, okay.
That was a little too much. Brett totally wanted to watch it. He loves this shit, so it was right up his alley.
Okay, here's my rant against the capitalist enterprise that is Hollywood film. Why isn't this movie in print? Why can't we get this movie? We both watched it falling off the back of a truck on YouTube.
Man, and let me tell you, YouTube commercials in the midst of a film are so jarring.
So bad.
It's like the only thing I can think of that's as bad as that is if you're watching West Wing, and in the end of every episode of West Wing has like the cheeriest fucking music. It's like, and so sometimes somebody's like bleeding out from a gunshot wound, and you're like at the end of it. It's just so jarring. That's how I felt every time we switched to a commercial for this.
Snuffy Walden.
I speak a lot of Spanish at my house because I'm doing Duolingo. So nice. I get Spanish commercials on my YouTube sometimes. And that was weird. Like, I'm watching this movie and all of a sudden it's like a Sunny D commercial in Spanish.
Okay. I get car commercials in Spanish for Dallas dealerships all the time. I live out in the country, and so I have Starlink internet because we don't have any real internet
I was
otherwise.
Say, does your VPN think you're somewhere you're not?
They think I'm in East Texas because of the Starlink, and so I get all of these.
Terrible place to be.
It's so weird, man. I get so many like Spanish language car commercials. That's the main one.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I very much agree. But I will say, kudos to the YouTube channels. And there were a couple of different versions of this on YouTube, I think, if you look. But kudos to the YouTube channels who do things like this. And I know part of it is they're trying to benefit from it with ad revenue or something.
Oh, probably. Yeah, 100%.
Like this, the copy that I watched had been viewed something like 200,000 times in the last 2 years.
I watched the same link that you sent, so.
Yeah. But like, what is wrong? We talked about this previously with Dogma, I think. But what is wrong with the Hollywood machine that movies just become unavailable in this way? It's so silly that you're barred from access. I mean, I've got money and I'm trying to hand it to you, Hollywood. Like, why not let me see this fucking film?
It's the same. Like, books shouldn't go out of print either anymore. Like, you should always be able to get a digital copy of anything.
Hey, when I click buy, tell me it's going to be a few days because you're printing one. It's fine, my man. Like,
yeah, that's fine too. But like,
Gutenberg
Jesus,
don't have to push the fucking thing down. You know?
Yeah, we don't have to change the type for every single page here.
Right.
The fuck? Also, just send me a digital copy. Let's get on with our lives. It doesn't even have to be physical.
That's what kills. It's like there's not a warehouse holding Shadow of the Vampire DVDs, right? Like, that's not the problem here.
And it's a bummer. Man. This movie is really good. This movie was really fun. Like,
it's award winning even. Like, it got a costume award, I think, or a makeup award. And as you mentioned, Dafoe got nominated. I don't think he won it that year, did he?
I don't think he won it, but he got nominated for an Oscar that year for Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah, and deserved it.
Malkovich is crazy in it.
Okay. We should start there. We're going to talk about a lot of the cast as we go through this thing, but Malkovich and Dafoe are what this movie hangs on. And like, first of all, I know some people, Malkovich is not their bag. He is a very particular kind of actor, but the level of unhinged and detached from humanity that he is capable of bringing to the screen,
fucking insane.
I mean, it is genuinely amazing. He's that way in Ripley. Right, he does the Ripley's Game, the later version of the Tom Ripley story. I think the name of that film is Ripley's Game. He does one as an older man. He plays Ripley as an older man, and he's great in that too. But like,
he was doing some really fun shit around this time period too, because being John Malkovich, I just looked it up, I loved that movie. That was fucking insane.
It's amazing.
That came out in 1999, and then he did this in 2000. So he was like doing some fun shit in this time period.
Taking some swings, man. Some swings. I did want to mention this movie is produced by Nick Cage. I noticed in the credits.
I
thought
noticed
that was interesting.
Too.
Yeah.
I thought that was very interesting. I was surprised he didn't want to be in it.
Right from go, you get the sense, though, that this movie is taking itself very, very seriously as far as the period that it is portraying. The credits are amazing, right? This is, you'll never see this long a credit sequence in a modern film. Even in 2000, it would have been out of the ordinary.
Well, and it's very, even the film, like, it's very stylistically of that period too. Like the film itself, the acting itself within it.
The way they iris in and go to the black and white image is so
crazy.
Beautiful.
I love it. It looks so good.
We need a 4K transfer of that so that we can fucking appreciate it properly. Like, it's a shame. It's a shame. Okay. Nice pussy is a hell of a way to start a movie, y'all. From go, you're like, okay, this is
we're
that
doing
kind
this,
of movie. Malkovich. So first of all, his starlet is done, I think, with the film world at this point. You have to remember, like, what it must have been like for these actors who had built careers and established, their entire method of working for the stage, and then now we're forced to move over to this thing that was low rent at the time in most high society people's minds anyway. Like, movies started as Nickelodeons, right? It was for the poor.
Right.
That's what the poor did. The rich go to theater. And so when it's clear, hey, okay, poor people's
some people
art
still
form
act
or
like
not.
that's the way it is now.
Yes, that's very, and I mean, look, go try to buy a Broadway ticket and tell me that it's not for the elite, honestly. But even though film was the more tawdry or more base art form, that wasn't going to matter. And Murnau, in this film at least, sees that. He sees the future. He makes this beautiful, there's a beautiful monologue at some point. I'm trying to think if I wrote down any of it. He says, "We are scientists engaged in the creation of memory, but our memory will neither blur nor fade." Fuck. Yeah. That is the most powerful argument for film ever, right?
Well, it's so romantic too. Like, it's such a, like, as an artist, as a creator, it's so romantic to think that something you make is lasting, especially if you've done theater. Theater is immediate and it's gone, it doesn't hang out. And so it is a very, like, for that to be the first time you've had that possibility of your work, lasting is got to be very intoxicating.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Murnau is high on his own supply here.
Oh,
like literally.
He's high on his own supply, and he's also high on laudanum.
Laudanum, yeah, good point. But I have later, turns out everybody's into pharmaceuticals in this movie, actually.
God.
Okay. The whole character of Murnau as he's presented here, though, is, I think, a wonderful indictment on how far directors have historically been willing to push their actors for a performance and for a reaction.
The art. Yeah.
Well, you think about, I mean, famously Kubrick torturing what's her
Shelley
name?
Duvall.
Shelley Duvall on The Shining. You know?
Yes.
But it's not, Hitchcock did the same thing again and again and again.
Fucking toe sucker.
Tarantino
putting
fucking her in the car.
Choked out an actress himself.
Well, like, he put Uma Thurman in that car for the where she has the car accident in Kill Bill, like, and Uma Thurman almost died. Like, and it's Tarantino's fault.
It's fucked up.
Very directly. He's an unsafe director on set, at least, or has been in his past. Maybe I don't want to cast aspersions. Maybe he was just young and dumb,
we can cast aspersions.
He shouldn't have done it. He shouldn't have done it. Yeah, good point.
That guy does not have a safe set. It's fine. He makes great movies, but that's not a safe set to work on.
Yeah, 100. That's it, man. That's it, and that's what Murnau is here. He has literally made a deal with the devil in this film.
He's
to sell this woman.
Yes, like the audacity to like, oh my God, that he's justified it to himself somehow. Like he's
even for
and
her.
It's not even like he plans to like turn a trick on him and like know like he's just gonna give her to him.
No, he says to her very directly here at the beginning. She's sort of fed up with the whole process, and he says, "Why would you want to act in a play when you could act in a film?" And first of all, I think for kids who come from the theater world, boy, this is something that every actor has ever heard who has tried to be a theater actor. They're like, well, when are you moving to LA? And you're like, I don't want to. I really like my life in Chicago or New York or whatever, right? Like, yeah, it's hard to be a very successful theater actor if you're not going to go to one of those 2 or 3 major cities. But
LA isn't the answer for theater people.
It's not. There's no theater scene in the same way that there is in basically every other major. Even fucking Atlanta has a more lively theater scene, I think, than LA does, because in LA they make movies. Like that's what you do when you're in LA, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a lesser art form, but the very idea that this actress is being forced into the mold of headed into Hollywood because that's where the market is going is like,
well, and the crazy shit too is like for this time period too, is those same actors that are having to figure out how to do film, and like not very long from now are going to have to fucking learn how to do talkies, you know?
Yes. Oh my God. I love movies about that period too. Like Singing in the Rain is a great example of that, but there's a lot of more modern films that do a good job of showing that transition from silent films to talkies. Yeah. And it's, I don't know, it's weird watching, first of all, for me as a modern, media creator, it is nice because I think sometimes we get caught up in our own asses and it's like, oh, well, the world is a revolution every week. It's always been like this.
Yeah.
It's always been like this. Like, even all the way back to the fucking creation of drama by the ancient Greeks, it's like you got one and then all of a sudden somebody else is doing a comedy and you're like, we got to do comedy now? And then,
absolutely.
We got women on the stage. Oh my, one thing after the other. Anyway. Yeah. You could put machines backstage and bring the god from the sky. What are we going to do?
Lights?
I mean, someone bitched and they were like, everything's going to be a big blockbuster now because we're all going to have to put Zeus in at the end. And you're like, I mean, but it's not a problem.
Just for a little while until the next thing comes along.
Nothing new under the sun is my point. Okay. Post-World War I Germany was a crazy fucking place, Ashley. We get a few glimpses here.
Holy shit. Yeah, this is wild.
We've talked before on this show about like history's pendulum swinging.
Yes.
Right? One of the reasons why Nazism the main reason was economic, right? The country
Right.
was crushed after World War I. The sanctions were gigantic. The people were demoralized. And Hitler said, all we got to do is hate the Jews. The Jews are the
That's
problem,
right.
y'all. And everybody was like, maybe the Jews are the problem. Let's get to fighting. But
Ugh.
another reason, though, is genuinely, and this goes back to that conversation we had, I think, in the last episode about liberals being angry at each other and breaking up into little fiefdoms. Germany was a crazy fucking place. It was very accepting. There was a bohemian movement. There were artists. There was a sexual revolution going on.
Yeah.
There was science revolutions going on. The brightest and most creative minds in all of Europe were coming to Weimar, Germany. And then the hoi polloi,
a sharp turn,
the blue collar people, right, and the industrialists that owned everything, the capital and the labor were both like, but wait a minute, we don't like you screwy weirdos, you know?
Fuck you weirdos.
Yeah. So like it is interesting to, and again, like go watch Cabaret to watch this happen more specifically.
Right, exactly.
In that way.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
But that is that is what happened, right? It's like the same country that produced Murnau and was doing these fucking insane esoteric adventures into the human mind also produced Hitler, like right around the same time this is happening.
Wild.
It's just weird. It's just very, very strange. Okay. Two more actors I want to mention here for a minute and love on. Udo Kier comes into the film. He's our overworked and underappreciated producer.
And he gets to play a good guy in this. He's not, I mean, he's a producer. He's kind of a dick, obviously. He's the money. But like,
he's not
he
Murnau.
plays so many villains. That guy plays a lot of bad guys in films.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder, does Murnau have descendants? Like, did anybody try to sue this movie for making Murnau out to be the kind of guy who would sell an actor to the devil?
That film is snuff film.
Right? You know, but Udo, though, is presented here, not exactly a good guy, I would say, but he's at least human. As everything advances, like he has human reactions to it, even as he loves and strives for his art. You know,
well, and he's concerned about the director too. Like he's like, this is getting the fuck out of hand.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand.
It's getting out of hand.
Let me see here. Where was I? I got off my... Oh, the other actor I wanted to mention here is... And you know what? I failed to look up and I can't remember. What is Eddie Izzard's preferred name these days? I know that he says Eddie is still okay, but she goes by...
Let me look. Susie.
Okay.
Susie Eddie Izzard.
Susie Izzard is fucking amazing.
Amazing. I
Always
am a huge fan. Have been a huge fan of Susie Izzard for forever. They are brilliant to me. I just like love their stand-up. Absolutely.
I remember the first time I saw a stand-up special from Susie, and it was revelatory. It was like, their comedy is nothing like Carlin's, but I remember the first time I ever watched Carlin, a whole special, and it was like, oh, there's a new way to look at the world. That's what Susie Izzard feels like. And here we're not getting that, but we are getting what we don't as often get, I think, from them, which is a genuinely straight acting performance. Like, they're giving it their fucking all here and channeling this really cool lead actor, you know,
and like giving
Hutter, the main character in Nosferatu,
giving a really great physical performance too, like a fucking brilliant physical performance, because so much of what we see in the movie is the filming of the movie. They're literally filming scenes, and Susie is just fucking brilliant in those, where you're seeing that heightened acting that is the style for that movie and for movies of that time, and it is just like awesome.
Man, the way that they shoot those, where Murnau talks through their thought process, and then you watch the actor play it, I'm like, God, that would be... I want to do this as an acting experiment, right? Honestly. I want to make a silent film, I think.
I mean, it could be really fucking fun and easy to direct. What? In the moment, you can fucking fix your face.
Okay, so that's what's so crazy to me. I've only really directed... I guess I only directed the once. I did it as a project in a directing class in college. But, you know, I mean, the thing is, you don't do line reads, right? As a director, you don't tell the actor how to say it. And yet... that's what he gets to do here, basically. And I'm like, oh, fuck, that would be fun. That would be so fun. Fucking puppet all of these human beings for a little while.
And it really, because the acting is so physical, it is like puppetry. It's really interesting.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Udo, I think, says this. Max's methods are somewhat Murnau says this. Max's methods are somewhat unconventional, but I'm sure you will come to respect his artistry in this matter. They're talking about the fact that Max Schreck is only going to appear in costume.
He's like seriously method, like,
which is funny because like that. I mean, Stanislavski isn't even a thing at this time. I don't think, right? I don't know. Maybe, I guess.
I don't know. No, they mentioned that he trained in Russia.
That's right. That's a very good point. Okay, he says further, Shrek's peculiarities are like lovemaking games. You believe them when they're happening, but they always stop short of someone being seriously hurt. Does Murnau believe this? Does Murnau believe... it's funny, I made the line from Tombstone. Somebody asked Johnny Ringo, they're talking about Faust is on stage. What would you do, Johnny Ringo? Would you sell your soul? And he says, I already sold mine. And somebody else says, I'd crawfish on the old devil and shoot him in the ass.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and like,
is that his plan? Does he think he's going to get out of this, or does he? Is he selling them bullshit?
I think he's selling them bullshit. I mean,
I think so too.
I think he's probably telling himself what he thinks is. Tell yourself whatever you need to hear.
Yeah. Whatever gets you to sleep through the night. Yeah.
Whatever gets you through the night, buddy. Because I don't think he plans for this to escalate the way that it does, because it just gets.
Clearly not, because he has it out with Orlok once it actually gets rolling.
Because he's like fucking eating his crew. Like, you can't just fucking eat my director of photography, bruh. Like.
Well, he says, okay, he confronts him the first time, and which, by the way, we don't really get a direct answer to this. Is Orlok this vampire's name?
Right.
Malkovich never calls him anything directly.
No,
except
does he not?
When they're on set.
Except when they're on set.
He calls him Max or Schreck or Orlok.
Or Orlok.
But I wonder, did he come up with that name? Or if he literally read that name in the, later we get the story of how he came up with this guy. He read about him in college in a book,
right?
And then found him out up in the mountains when he was, scene hunting for Dracula, which is such a fucking crazy. Yeah. But it is also, it's such a brilliant idea for a film. And it's a really cool way to remake Nosferatu without remaking Nosferatu. I mean, at this point, when they made this, freaking, what's his name? The director, now picture the inhumanity of mankind.
Oh yes.
Werner
Herzog.
He remade
I love him.
He remade it in the 70s, I think, the late 70s or the early 80s. It's Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror, I think is the name of it. And it's a very good version, apparently. We haven't seen that one yet here on the show. I think I've watched it once before. But so first of all, you've got this classic of horror, which had been resurrected in, I think people started playing it again in like the 50s and 60s in some places where they began to find copies and stuff. In the 70s or the 80s, Werner Herzog remakes it. So Werner is like this famous director. Redoing this now in 2000 is not going to be a thing, I would think. I think it's fucking ballsy of Eggers to do it in 2024, 25 years later after this, right? So coming in sideways like this is a really cool idea.
It's a great way to keep it from being tired, like,
yes.
Are we doing Dracula again? Fuck,
but also you get to straight up do Murnau's shots. You're like, hey, you know what I really like? I like how he framed that. Let me just do it in widescreen, actually.
And it looks incredible.
Yeah,
like that's
really, really good. Man, Orlok says to, or Schreck, or whatever we want to call him, he says to Murnau, now I feed like old men pee, sometimes all at once, sometimes drop by drop, which I thought was very funny. But like, also,
he's not having a good time.
He's like, hey man, you knew what I was gonna do when you signed up for this.
Yeah,
you know who I am.
I told you.
Yeah,
I'm a vampire.
It's not a surprise for you.
No. I didn't expect the leopard to eat my face.
It's so funny. Again, this is Murnau pushing them even further, pushing the crew further. He goes, it may be advantageous because it makes the crew edgy, and I like that. So he's like, no, don't tell them any stories about what Max did or didn't do. Just let the rumors build, actually.
Just let them
this
be
get out of
uncomfortable
hand.
about this guy. Let it be mythical, you know?
It is so crazy to me that Orlok is doing this all because he wants to meet a girl. He's just a fanboy.
He's just horny fanboy.
When they first opened the locket,
he's got real
and he calls
incel
her by
energy.
her name. He's like, oh, this is the famous actress. And they're like, no, Max, what are you doing?
No. She is beautiful. I will make her mine.
Yeah. First of all, where the fuck did this guy watch a movie? He chose this woman on purpose. I mean, I guess maybe Murnau showed him a photo. I don't know. Anyway,
maybe he had some headshots he got to go through. Maybe he got to pick her.
Maybe so.
Like,
maybe
let's cast the leading lady now.
He's presented here a little bit sympathetically, though, because it is clear. First of all, he makes it clear that he's never been able to make another of his kind.
Right.
He's alone.
And he's lonely.
And always has been. But secondly, he also has apparently tried to kill himself before. He says, Murnau is threatening him. And he says, tell me how you would harm me when I don't even know how I could harm myself. He's a predator here. He's fucking up the whole cast and crew. But also you do feel a little bad for him. And that goes to how good a fucking actor Willem Dafoe is.
Right.
Through the makeup, he's able to channel that.
Yes. And you feel sympathetic. And then you also have these moments where you're like, this guy's fucking hilarious. You know, like, what is that? Like, it's so, I don't know. It's so like disjointed and it makes you feel so strange because you're like the scene where they're getting drunk, like the producer and the vampire and another dude are just getting fucking wasted together. And he eats the head off the bat. It's when he eats the head off the bat. And they're like, whoa, that's crazy.
Okay. That and you already mentioned it at the top of the episode, but that discussion with Orlok and the producer and the writer is just fucking brilliant. Okay. So
it's first of all, favorite scene in the whole thing.
Before this, they all sort of hate Max Schreck. They're like, I don't get what this fucker is doing.
It's like
wasting our time.
Look, and working with a fucking method actor like that, like that's an asshole. Like nobody wants to fucking work with a method actor like that. It's fucking torturous.
The only one, honestly, the only actor I can think of that I've ever heard those sort of stories about that isn't also accompanied constantly with stories of like, if not outright sexual or physical assault, then just general asshole, like, oh, he pisses in a bottle and makes his assistant
and
carry
leaves
it
it
around
on
or
set.
something. Yeah. The only person that hasn't met that criteria, I would say, is like Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel
Day-Lewis escapes into his fucking cobblery for a year and a half, and then he comes back to be an actor again or whatever. But
and he doesn't make his existence on set ruinous to everyone around him. He just does his thing.
It's like the 30 Seconds to Mars guy with Jared Leto and fucking
that guy's a piece
Joaquin
of shit.
Phoenix in his worst periods, you know?
Yeah.
Like normal actors don't. Again, what's the line from Marathon Man? Dustin Hoffman comes in, you know, he's been like waiting he's been living in a park for 2 or 3 days or whatever.
Acting for a reason.
Yeah, he comes in and he gets with whoever it is, Peter O'Toole or whatever that's in that movie, and he's like, it's so much easier if you just act, my dear boy.
Yeah. It's acting.
Okay. Can you give me like 5 seconds? I gotta go use the restroom. I'm literally, I couldn't keep my train of thought. I was like, you gotta pee, Joel. How do you spell relief?
When you have to piss so bad that you can't concentrate. It's time to pee.
I was like, I couldn't think a straight thought anymore.
It's time to go.
Also though, it's funny because my cat was in our bedroom. We have to keep our cats separate. You got to keep them separated, as Offspring told us. One of them was in here in the bedroom with me, but his food and water bowl is in the bathroom, and so he was very excited when the bathroom door got open.
Motherfucker!
He was like, aha!
I would like a snack. Yeah, my cat's food and water is in here in the office, so he gets very angry when I shut myself in here.
This discussion though with the writer and the producer is so brilliant because
I love it.
So they're like this method acting dick at first, and they're kind of making fun of him. And then he sits down and he just starts talking to them. And Ashley, I know you've experienced this. I've worked with actors that I have hated before.
Right.
But it's like in the after party for a minute, or we're all sitting on the smoker's porch, or we're whatever, right? And it's like, I'm just here doing this job, and you're just here doing this job, and it's not like we're gonna fucking fist fight, bud. So like, let's just
we're all in it together.
Bottle. Right. Let's pass this bottle back and forth. I'm sure it's similar in battle, right? Like you got a member of your core that you don't appreciate.
Yeah.
But also that dude's gonna shoot the guy from behind me if I'm gonna, get the drop on him or whatever.
Exactly.
So like, good. Let's pull together. Anyway,
solidarity.
That's where it starts. But then they end up fascinated with this motherfucker because he begins to opine about the character of Orla.
It's wild.
The places where he goes are so brilliant because they just work as an actor talking to two other creatives, but also it's this vampire explaining why this entire experience has thrown his whole world into question. He reads the Book of Dracula and he's like, how fucking terrible this would all be for Dracula. How can he get his house ready for guests when he hasn't had servants in 1,000 years? And you're like, boy, that would suck. The line that I wrote down is, how can he prepare a meal when he can't even remember how to buy bread, how to select cheese and wine? And I was like, God damn, that's a good question, homie. Like, yeah.
Yeah, bud.
That would be a problem, wouldn't it?
That's rough.
It reminds me, though, of some of the ancients in Anne Rice's world, right? Like Cayman, for instance, especially. He rises after a sleep of like 500, 600 years or whatever. Doesn't remember who he is at first, even.
Right.
Because he's been out of it for so long. Yeah. But he's like, I don't even remember how to buy bread. How can I pretend to be human, actually? Yeah. I don't know. What's that like? It's fascinating. And then he catches a bat out of the air and chews the fucking head off.
So hilarious. I mean, it's horrifying, but it's hilarious.
I love that neither one of them bat an eye about it.
No, they're like, man.
Later.
Well, yeah. Like after it happens and he leaves, when Orla leaves, they're like, man, actors are fucking weird. That's basically what an actor.
What
like
dedication.
What actors are just wow. So funny.
Okay, we've mentioned him a little bit, but genuinely, Willem Dafoe is amazing in this role. He doesn't have a whole lot of dialogue. He's not on screen that much. But first and foremost, he channels Max Schreck's performance as Nosferatu amazingly.
Brilliantly.
Like his physicality is perfect.
It's wild.
But then he brings this level of pathos to the thing, and it's like, that's not just a caricature of evil. Like, that is a human. Once upon a time, it was a human being. It's an entity, at least, you know, with a consciousness and thoughts and feelings. It's so, so cool.
Look, even monsters can have hearts.
Right. Okay, so at this point, I had forgotten from the credits that Cary Elwes was in this thing.
Yeah! Fucking Cary Elwes. I love it when he shows up.
Okay, so Cary, he was in Dracula, right? He was in the Bram Stoker Dracula?
He was. He played Arthur Holmwood.
It's interesting to think about how many of these actors go on to be in something else vampire-y.
I know.
Udo Kier is the head vampire from Blade, for instance, of the Council or whatever.
And that's not even the only vampire shit he's done, I don't think.
No, I think he's done a few other things too. So Cary Elwes shows up. He's the new photographer. He's going to replace Herr Wolf, who is out, probably dying.
Out due to vampire.
So when he lands, one of the crew says, welcome, Herr Doctor. And Cary says, I'm not a doctor, but I do have experience with pharmaceuticals.
And yes, they all party.
So he walks up to get his first shot here, like fresh off the plane. And he says these things. He says, is it set? Talking about the camera and the shot. Are you loaded? Yes. Good. So am I. Move the camera 10 centimeters left and I will set up a 2-shot. Wait for my signal. And then he fires a gun into the air to get the crowd's reaction. And he's like, did it work? Yes. Excellent. I should have shot it in slow motion. It would have been fantastic.
Oh, so funny.
And they're like, what do you mean slow motion? He's like, you run the film through fast and then you play it back at regular speed. And they're like, oh, okay.
Well, it makes things look fucked up.
Right. I love this character. I love this character a lot.
He comes in like charmer immediately. Like, high energy. I love this guy. I'm into this character. Let's do this. And he's there to make a fucking movie, and he's gonna have a bad day before it's all said and done.
So he goes over to talk to Orla, Max Schreck, for the first time, and they start discussing Plato. Fitz says, Carrie Elwes' character says, oh, you've read Plato. And Max goes, read him. I knew him. There's a good line here, though. Reality is the thing itself that casts the shadow. Which is really interesting. They're genuinely having a philosophical conversation over here. Fitz was kind of making small talk, but Orlok's like throwing some wisdom at him, actually, which is kind of cool. But also, I think that's sort of maybe the thesis of this movie, is like, what, assuming that this was real, this synopsis is real, what does it mean that Murnau did this? The film is this classic thing, is this amazing thing that has been held up by generations now of filmmakers and has inspired generations of filmmakers now.
It's been remade and redone and revisited.
What does it mean to have pushed your actors and your crew so far and so dangerously if what you create is in fact a treasure? Is Shelley Duvall's sanity worth the fact that The Shining is a masterpiece?
Right.
And it's like, my answer is no. But I get to say that from the benefit of a world where The Shining exists already.
That's
right?
Very
like
true.
It exists and I get to keep it. And the fact that I wish Shelley Duvall had a happier life wouldn't take that away from me. I don't get to do it Back to the Future and blink it out of existence. And I think that's sort of the question that this movie is asking at a heightened scale, right? At an exaggerated scale, but that's the crux of it, really.
Yeah. I mean, making a movie about monsters and you become one.
So I deal with a lot of people in my business that are, if you wanted to call them ungraciously, you could describe them as self-help gurus, right? Like they're coaches of various kinds, right? I've got real estate folks and marketing folks and just business in general folks that I work with. And a lot of them talk about the idea that, pressure creates diamonds. And that they built their life from hard scrabble and tough circumstances and overcoming obstacles. And now many of them have like massive wealth or very high levels of success, and they have children that they have put into this box where they don't get to experience the hardships that they did, and they're happy about that on the one hand, but on the other hand, now have I made soft people who aren't capable of doing anything, right in the world or great in the world. And like, it's a hard line for me to walk. I've talked about it with my own children. It's like, I'm happy that I've protected them from many things.
Right.
Are any of them ever going to fall in love with Anne Rice because they weren't fucked up little 11-year-olds? I don't know actually now, and it's
what book do they reach for?
I don't know. It's a trade-off. But my point is like,
you're not left at home all the time by yourself to be unsupervised. Then you don't get into as much shit.
If the director is not willing to throw you to the vampire, Ashley, will we ever get true art?
Will it be a good movie if I don't get murdered by my co-star, drugged by my coworkers, and then murdered by?
They literally just dope this woman up at the end. It's so bizarre. The end of this thing. We'll get there in a minute, but I do think this is an interesting question, and it is what makes this movie more than just an interesting little genre thing.
Yeah.
This is an art film.
It is asking. It's definitely asking some big questions about like the lengths we'll go to be what we want to be seen the way we want to be seen as artists, and like it's crazy.
I love that the writer is the first one to put it all together, and he like lays it out for everybody, and no one believes him. They're all like, that's nonsense, actually.
He's like, no, I'm pretty sure. We saw him bite the head off of a bat, remember?
Like, he was drunk. He's an actor. What do you want from me?
We were drunk. What do you want?
Okay, so Greta shows up again for the end of this film. Greta, played by Catherine McCormick, and she's really, really good in this role.
Yeah,
we
she's
talked
fun.
about this character in our discussion of the original film.
Yeah.
And someone had great discussion feedback for us. I think that we talked about how that role is very different in the 2024 Eggers film, and maybe less heroic in some ways,
Right.
and that she causes the problems sort of
Right.
directly in that film. Whereas in the original Murnau version, she is genuinely just like a sacrificial, lamb that saves the universe by her own willingness to give herself up, which is crazy when you play it
Yeah.
through this film,
Right.
where none
but
of
she
it
was
is her choice.
Not at all into that.
Yeah, I mean, she's Isaac in the Isaac and Abraham story here, right? They took her up to the top of the mountain. They're like, God will provide the ram. Don't even worry about
it.
Yeah. This is weird, man. Okay, so Murnau flies Orla to Helgoland himself. I thought this was so cute. He literally lands
this
the
shit
plane.
Was hilarious. Like trying to like accommodate this vampire at their filming schedule
is sail.
Hilarious to me. Like they had to build the boat on the castle. Like, oh God, so funny.
So at first I was a little shocked. We see Catherine McCormick as Greta, like writhing on the bed and having a fit one night, and they come in, and I assumed, Ashley, that Orla had already been in the building, and this was like a post
reaction,
drink reaction, right? Yeah, she's freaking out and probably high on the lack of blood or whatever, and his hypnosis. No,
high
stoned.
Indeed, high
she's
on laudanum,
actually stoned. And then we find out. Everybody's stoned.
Everybody's stoned on laudanum.
Yeah. So we knew Fritz was on something, and we had seen him already at this point smoking what was clearly not tobacco. Like I'm assuming that's opium or something that he's smoking. But then we know he does drugs. He's already talked about it. He was stoned when he showed up to shoot the first thing.
Loaded and knows about pharmaceuticals.
Indeed. And then now Greta's on it, and then we see that Murnau has also doped himself up.
And a lot.
I
think he had a little more. Well, I think she had a little more than she should have. Let's be real.
Murnau is so stoned when they find him. I wonder almost if they're not trying to imply that he didn't have second thoughts or maybe regrets and think, maybe I'll just kill myself rather than feeding her to the vampire. Never mind that they're now on an island with this vampire, which means he's probably going to kill them all.
Right. Also, I just want to get fucked up and forget about it.
Yeah. But mumbling in his sleep that he gets out enough that they all begin to understand what's happening now.
The writer was right.
Yeah. So what happened is that Murnau found Orla in a book in college. He read a book about this immortal set of kings that lived forever, and actually was the same place. Then he gets the book Dracula. He's like, this is an amazing film. I can't wait to make it, and starts scouting places, and actually found the vampire that he had read about all those years ago.
Who knew he was real?
Here's the craziest line in the entire movie, though, in my opinion.
Okay, I'm ready.
Fitz, this new photographer, and Udo, our producer, get this from the stoned Murnau, and Fitz says, "Well, we're going to have to film Shrek's scene tonight." And I mean, I get why he gets there eventually, but they get there real quick as their decision making. Ashley, he's like, the plane doesn't have any fuel.
Yep.
There are no boats here. There's no way to contact people. He'll just eat us all if we don't do this right. So yeah, we've got to film the scene and then we'll kill him in the making of the scene. Yeah, that's their plan.
It's a good plan.
Yeah. Okay. I had only seen this film once, maybe twice, right around the time that it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it very much as like a darkly comedic film. And some of it is. We've talked about it already. It's quite funny in place. But, man, in light of what we know about people like Harvey Weinstein and others in the film industry specifically, when Murnau says, consider it a sacrifice for your art, we get the flash to the thing that he says in the beginning. It's the role that will make you great.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real fucking thing to hear played out in this film when we know what is going to happen to this girl.
Yeah. It's gross. It's quite gross.
It's really fucked. I mean, like, again,
This
we've
whole
already
this
seen
whole
that
last
Murnau's,
section of this is so fucked up to me. Like, it
Yes.
is really fucked up.
Yes, this movie ends, I mean, so darkly, honestly.
Yeah, it's real grim here. These last couple of scenes. Woo.
It is so interesting to me the way that they get him to film. They get Shrek to film everything that they need him to before they let him feed.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, again, not remembering it perfectly, I'm like, oh, there's another move to lay here or something. They're gonna go somewhere else. But no, they just needed to get all the footage that they needed of him before he started drinking blood.
Yeah.
Because their plan was to kill him once he was drinking blood. Okay, great. But it's just weird. He starts drinking, and there's this hilarious, in the middle of this dark conclusion, there's a hilarious cut where he's drinking, and then it cuts to him asleep, laying there on her chest.
Yeah, like blood drunk.
But my favorite part about that, Ashley, and this whole ending scene, Dafoe has got a handful of her titty the entire time, which we commented on in the original Nosferatu film. Yes, he's just squeezing that boob the whole time, and they put that in this movie, and I love it. I love it so much. I'm like, I know you noticed it too, huh?
We definitely clocked the titty, the titty tug.
Okay, so this vampire is killing this woman, and now he's been attacked by and has killed Udo, or all but killed Udo and Fritz.
Yeah.
And Murnau is still fucking rolling film.
Fucking filming.
And he says, they will no longer have to say you had to have been there because we will have been. And again, holding to that idea that, like, we're scientists in the art of memory.
The cadence of his delivery in that section, I wonder, like, it reminded me so much of the priest in Midnight Mass at times. I was like, ooh.
Like when he's got Riley and talking him through the neck breaking. Yeah, that's what I was like. This is fucked up. It's hard to watch abuse, right? It is hard to watch abuse. And this is so clearly, I mean, these people are dying, but this is abuse. This is mental and emotional abuse. And while most of us, if you're listening to this, you didn't get killed by somebody in your life, many of the reason why we're in these fandoms, honestly, is because we did have some sort of trauma like this, where somebody sold us a bill of goods or stole something from us emotionally or mentally or spiritually. And that's what Murnau's doing here. It's fucked up. The final line, he says, thank you. I think we have it.
I think we have it. Blech. It was a snuff film. Like, he made a snuff film. He made a fucking snuff film.
If you're squirrely about Malkovich, this ain't the film to watch for you, my man. Because he is fucked up in this one.
If he makes you uncomfortable, this is not. Watch being John Malkovich. It's
right?
Lighter fare.
That's a weird movie too, but it ain't.
It's so fucking weird, but it's
dark
not
as this.
No, not at all.
Yeah, the ending of this one, man, was really, really something. The cinematography on this is amazing. I don't know whether it won or was nominated that year, but it fucking should have been.
It's really brilliant. It's shot really well. It's edited so well. I mean, it's incredible. I really enjoyed this one.
When a movie can make you laugh as hard as this one can, at least a couple of times, and also leave you with an ending that is that hollow and
makes
defeating.
You feel so broken and disgusted
dirty,
with humanity.
I mean, literally, you've watched a snuff film. That's what you've watched, and you're like,
that's
Jesus
what it is.
Christ.
And now you're like, is Nosferatu a snuff film?
You're right. Again, for the guy who was like, maybe Jesus was a vampire, actually.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I can watch I'm glad we watched them in this sequence.
I am too.
Versus the other way around. I did not. I don't think I could watch Nosferatu right now. I genuinely. I
tell you what, it doesn't make me want to go turn it on.
No. It is weird too how this piece of cinema can add to that one in that way. Like the portrayal of Max Schreck. Every time Max Schreck is on screen in that film now, would have a different layer to it that would. Anyway. Just a real special piece of of film that I think not enough people know about or have seen. And
Yeah, if you
Hollywood
haven't
has made
seen it,
hard.
I highly recommend. If you enjoy the vampire genre, do it. Unless, again, you have a Malkovich aversion.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. All right. We continue ahead. Up next for the Articulate Coven, we'll be talking about Blood Canticle Part 2. We'll be going from chapter 11 through chapter 20, or I think it's 11 through 21. Anyway, it's up in the show notes. The breakdown is in the show notes. And then after that, we're going to be talking about The Howling. There's your homework for the next couple of weeks. I am too. I'm very excited about The Howling. You know, we've got...
I haven't watched that in so long. Like, I probably haven't watched that movie since the 80s.
I've never seen this one. I'm a big werewolf fan in general, and I've seen a lot of them, even from the 80s. But The Howling was one of those that always felt a little too scary for me, a little too gory, and I never got around to it. I'm excited to get there finally. Also, speaking of Eggers, that's his next genre. He's doing werewolf as his next film, a period werewolf movie. And so again,
Lily
The
Rose
Howling
is
was
going to be in it too.
Yes. She's so good at Nosferatu. I'm excited to see what she does next. But I can't imagine that The Howling is necessarily one of Eggers' primary influences, but The Howling is a quintessential and classic example of the body horror aspect of werewolfism.
Yeah. And a werewolf, and just a good, like, solid werewolf film. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm super excited to see that in light of what we got coming in the future here. All right. Lots of book club stuff to come. We got a couple more movies, The Teen Witch after The Howling as well.
Oh my God.
And then we'll have some topic episodes for you before we get to Talamasca premiering October 26th. It's coming. Of you, I know it's coming so soon. For those of you who are interested in joining us in New Orleans for Anne Rice's Celebration of Life, the links and info is in the show notes. There's still a couple of some rooms to book in our hotel block. Also, Christopher Rice has posted some other rooms that have discounted hotel rooms for people who are attending the Celebration of Life. And our info about what we're going to do with our tour, with Rose Sinister, all that stuff in the show notes below. So check it out and sign up for what you need to sign up for. Otherwise, you can just join us on the live streams when we're on on the intranets. All right. Y'all, I like this one. Thanks to everybody who voted for it and put it into our to-do list. And we'll have more of those coming soon. Until the next time we talk to you, we have been your hosts. I'm Joel.
I'm Ashley.
And we are the Articulate Coven.
Thank you for sharing this time with the Articulate Coven. Support the show as either a free or paid member at articulatecoven.com/join. You can also find us on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Find more from the Coven with our sister show, Flan Again, covering the works of Mike Flanagan.